Cabrini, and welcome to this segment of Penn Voice. I'm joined by two of my really good friends, Beth Mostovoy, who is the producer of Art on the Square in Redwood City, and Jodi Paley, who I happen to be wearing one of her pieces. I'm director and artistic outreach and communication for Art on the Square. Beth and Jodi, thanks for coming back.
Thanks for
I always have my annual fix of the two coming on the program, so we can talk about the Art on the Square, not only the holiday show, but the Kino show that you do as well, and the shows that you do in the summer all throughout the year.
We're a year-round event.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. It's so exciting to see the evolution of it. And I feel like we've been growing with you here on Penn Voice. So let's just jump right into it. Art on the Square has a holiday show coming up. So Beth, I'm going to let you start off with a little bit about Art on the Square, so people who have not heard about Art on the Square know a little bit about it, and then what specifically are we going to see in the holiday show?
Okay, it kind of began like a dare. I went to Chris Beth about Art on the when they did Courthouse Square.
Right.
And I said, well, you're having all these concerts here. Why don't you have any art?
And Chris Beth is the director of Parks and Recs for the city of Redwood City.
And he says, well, why don't you put it together? I said, okay, I will. So I grabbed my friend Julie Goodenough, and we started Art on the Square 13 years ago. And we've been going ever since. We started out just doing some summer shows, and then we added Kinos, and that's a fundraiser for Kinos that we do around Valentine's Day every year. We've done that for the last 3 years, and then around the same time we added this holiday show in the History Museum, because we just loved the venue and just thought it would be a great opportunity to show off the venue as well as have a wonderful holiday show.
And Jodi, you're one of the artists. You exhibit, and I've got your scarf on. You've got your scarf on, your button, amongst other things. So you started out as an artist within the show, and then now you're the artistic director and
I started out as an artist, and then Beth and Julie approached me and said, "We need help," and I said, "Sure." And this is my fourth year, I believe, or
I think so.
Yeah,
third or fourth.
Fourth or fifth. No, because I started before the holiday show, so this will be my fourth.
Right.
Yeah, and as you say, I'm a fiber artist, so I started out as a weaver, and then I paint the yarns, how I get the color changes that are in all this. I paint them before I begin to weave. So there's probably a 2-week period before I start weaving of measuring out the yarns, painting it, washing out any excess dyes, setting up the loom, and then I can weave. And then you're wearing a felted scarf, which I started doing a number of years ago.
Which I have two, by the way. I have a purple and a pink.
Yeah. And with those, I paint the silk, and then the ones that you're wearing, I started with doing wool and silk on the silk scarf, and now I've done a lot more. What you're wearing is cashmere and silk.
Right.
So, and really soft, really nice, and a lighter weight. You can wear that on a summer evening to go out, both in decoration, and wrap it if you need some extra warmth if it cools down.
Right.
Yeah, but my time with Art on the Square and working with the artists has, just been a blast.
So, Beth, how do you find the artists? I mean, because obviously you're going to talk a little bit about the different mediums, the different things that are going to be displayed. We've got a few things here that you can talk about, but how do you find the local artists?
Well, the things that are really cool about Art on the Square is that artists tell other artists.
Oh, okay.
So we've been around long enough that some of our artists just recruit other artists.
Right, because if you're doing something cool, they say, you should be a part of this.
Yeah. Well, people,
come on down.
People ask, do you know anything about a good holiday show or a good, a good show to do? Our shows are a little different because the Art on the Square in the summer is Friday night, not Saturday, Sunday. So we tell some artists that are even out of town, hey, you could if you're doing one of the weekend shows, you can come do us on Friday night.
Right.
And you just pick up a show if you're going to be here anyway.
Right.
And so that's appealing to them. We also have a presence on Facebook. We have Art on the Square Facebook, and we're Instagram and Twitter. So, people can find us in a variety of ways. But really, we've built up a lot of, since we were really community oriented to bring art into the Redwood City community, people really know us. And they see us, and when we're out in the summer, we have thousands of people there every Friday night. So the word does get around, and we really, this show, the holiday show coming up now, I think at least half of the artists, half of the artists that are going to do the show, it's the first time they're doing it. So it's a whole new set of of artists wanting to try our shows.
Right. And give us some examples, both of you, of what, because I'm looking here and I've got this really, really interesting bowl. I don't know how to describe it. I'm sure you will.
Yeah.
We've got cards and we've got the typical photos and paintings that you might see, but you have a lot of other kinds of things that are at these. So tell me a little bit about that.
So this year, so you're looking at a ceramic bowl that's in a raku glaze by one of our artists who's local and lives in unincorporated Menlo Park, Redwood City area. So a lot of this is also, you're keeping your spending money locally. You're helping local artists to stay and thrive in the area.
Right.
I have jewelry on by an artist who lives in San Francisco, who comes down. Beth has jewelry also from...
Each earring
is different.
Each earring is a different one. She works with paper. And she does glass, and she also does regular glass bowls and stuff, but she does amazing jewelry, pendants. I mean, things that are great for gifts, which is
really what we're looking for.
Holiday show.
We've got a number of fiber artists this year. Besides for my accessories, Beth is wearing a jacket by an Oakland artist that does beautiful jackets and work. And
Jerry.
We have a couple of other new fiber artists who do clothing that will be there. So this year, this is the first time we're going to have this much clothing.
Yes, I recruited some from Kenyatta's Artistry and Fashion.
Well, that's a great partnership.
We have 2 or 3 people. Kui, who did this one. Both of these actually are I recruited them from Kenyatta.
Yeah. So I guess the message is if you're a local artist and you're looking at this program today or seeing us through the website, they should contact you if there's still time to either do the holiday show or one of your other shows. Also, if you're a shopper looking for some very interesting holiday ideas, can they go to your website and see some of the artist names and what are some of the things that they'll be showing in advance to know what's going to be there that day?
They would be better off going to Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah. Because Julie, even though Julie has moved out of the area, she still does all of our marketing.
Okay.
So she always has boosted posts, and she thanks sponsors, and she shows off the artists, and you can go there and see all kinds of great art of what to expect at the show.
Yeah.
And I think what makes the program special is this is all original art. Yeah. So as people talk about gifts that they're giving to their friends and family, this is really actually a very special story.
They're one-of-a-kind pieces, most of them, and, I go in there, I do almost all of my holiday shopping for family.
I do too.
Same thing.
Yep.
As well as,
as
I'm even, as the artists are even coming in and applying and we're looking through pictures, I will say, oh, I'm going to go look at this when they get in. Then when my husband and daughter come down, I say, you want to go talk to this artist.
Right.
And so I hint, nudge, nudge, so... and all different price points, things that can be afforded by a young adult who's still in college, and, for whoever, and things from home decor to wearables to jewelry to art for your walls, cards that use Beth's photography.
We have a bookbinder this year.
Yeah.
And that's very interesting. He's works with leather and does beautiful books and journals and things.
Yeah. I remember one of the shows, it wasn't the holiday show, but I ran into a gal who did handbags, and she used old leather straps. Do you remember belts?
She'll be there. We actually have 2 handbag artists. We have Lisa, who lives locally, who repurposes both fabric and the straps to make her bags, and then Heidi, who is in Palo Alto, who makes these out-of-this-world leather bags.
Hers are also repurposed.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I was getting at.
Babmo, yeah.
I love the idea that they were repurposed fabric and repurposed items that normally someone would just have thrown away because they said it's just not in style anymore.
Yeah.
Or we would have sent it to Goodwill. But now we are recreating something brand new, very fresh, very innovative.
And beautiful.
And beautiful.
Yeah. And the artists really take their time piecing together from their found items and putting this together, into something completely unique.
Your whole organization is a volunteer organization. You do this because you love and thrive on what this is. But you do need sponsors. We have just about a minute left. What do you want to say to your sponsors, or can people still come and support Art on the Square throughout the year?
People can always support us. We do count on community support very much to offset some of the costs. I mean, for the History Museum show, which is, just going into the History Museum is a treat. So many people come in and say, I've never seen this place. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And so we thrive on that, and we also try to get like restaurant sponsors so people can go out and go around the downtown after they shop and see the History Museum.
So you really want to incorporate this into the downtown, and I'm sorry to
Such a
say that we
community.
are out of time.
Okay.
And we have to say goodbye, but we want people to look you up on Facebook.
Can I say the date?
Yes, say
Yes.
the date. We'll put it up at the end of the program as well.
Yeah, so it's Saturday, November 23rd from 10 to 4 at the History Museum, and it will be a blast.
And free admission
Free
because of our
admission.
sponsors.
Correct.
We thank you
Yeah.
so very much. November 23rd, Saturday, 10 to 4, History Museum, downtown Redwood City.
Yes.
We'll see all of you at Art on the Square.